good, y'all? Welcome back to the Bobcast, episode 71. I'm back with the guys, DJ and Ant. Today, we'll be talking about our upcoming draft stream that we'll be having on the draft, day one and day two. We'll be streaming on both days. Day three is just going to be a regular day for us guys. We're not going to do much, but we'll be looking and doing some things, probably talk about that separately. And then we have some recent NFL news, some signing and some new uniforms coming out, and some draft prospects that have been rising, uh, and some that aren't attending to the draft. So let's get into the interruption.
I don't know. I'm geeked out, but yeah. Anyways,
Yo,
He's
it's
like,
the thing that
like,
way.
why are we so happy?
like,
It's the new
Yo,
lighting,
turn
bro.
your
It's the
light
new
up.
lighting.
Turn your light up, dog.
It's the new lighting, bro. It's the new lighting.
You have too much of a shadow on you.
I'm in the dark today, so
Bobby's gonna get one of these lights like us. Amazon sponsor us, so we can get this.
you know what? Canva sponsor us after
Canva
the
sponsor us, dog.
after the national championship for March Madness. The first commercial that popped up was a Canva commercial. I'm like, we should get that sponsorship. Shout out to Canva.
Anyways, I look like I'm being interrogated, but yes. So, if y'all didn't know, me and like our small friend group, well, besides Bobby, because Bobby couldn't make it sadly
I
this
was
year,
sick.
but yeah, Bobby
I
was
was
sick.
sick.
Sick about. Anyways, we took a trip, 5 hour trip from where we live to DJ, and yeah, it was cool. It was calm. Whoa,
Is that Daniel Jones? Oh my. Take that shit off.
scenery
I'm sorry.
change.
I meant to
Sorry,
put it
just
on at the
cuss.
beginning.
I'm sorry, just cuss, but
It
golly,
was supposed to be on
that
from the beginning of the episode. I just
That
forgot
looks
about
like
it
the
until I looked to my
looks like the
right.
top of a soda can, bro. The
it
eight.
does look like RC.
It's coming.
But yeah, we spent like a cool 4 days out there. We went last week Thursday, came
Last
back
Thursday.
this Monday morning. It was pretty chill. Even though I don't go to school, it was a little calm experience experiencing actual college
Experience?
campus. College campus, my bad. I'm losing words here. It's 12 o'clock currently. 12:12. Isn't that where you make a
Friday,
wish?
April 10th. So that's when we're recording.
Oh yeah, that is true. So yeah, it's been a week since we came back, but yeah, it was cool. There's a bunch of, you know, there's a bunch of buckets over there that I should have shot my shot at, but it is what it is. I also seen some of the rec comp over there. It's way different than high school kids and little kids and our local rec. There was this
Yes,
one
no
guy,
kids,
bro.
bruh.
There
No
was this one
kids.
guy who Ray would guard, and he would just put his hand in front of his face, and he'll still make the
It
shot,
didn't
bro.
matter. It
So it was
didn't
like
matter.
some Keon stuff happening.
Bro,
Yeah.
and then, bro, their driving kick, the defense, bro, everything. It's just like, bro, I don't even be scoring now. I'd be getting face guarded. I'd be like, come on, dog. Like, give me some space. And I'd be getting face guarded. And it's always just one guy. Every time.
Bro, and he has like Sergio's like little brother's build, bro. So if you know
He
how
does.
Sergio's little brother
Like,
looks,
he was a big man, but he can drive, kick it, shoot, especially. You can't give him any space.
you can't, he shoots
So
contested balls and he makes
maybe
it,
if
bro.
I go out there someday and he's there to guard him.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be your best
But
bet.
let me guess, bro's probably like 6'4".
No, he's also
No, he's
short.
actually he's pretty
He's
short
short.
compared
He's
to you.
like 5'11".
Yeah,
Oh, I got that.
5'11",
No, you don't.
5'12".
I can't stop him. I can only contain him.
Yeah, you can slow him down.
I like that. I like
But
that.
I think he
quote right
missed
there.
one shot.
But yeah, um, that was pretty chill. Everything was in walking distance, so we basically took a walk for everywhere to go. But yeah, now we're back home. We took a bunch of pictures. I'm not gonna post those because transferring pictures from iPhone to Android, it's not the business. But yeah, if y'all wanna go ahead and follow the Bobcast account, follow me personally. Y'all be seeing all the pictures that we took. And yeah, now let's get into
Down
this
there,
video.
next to Bobby on both sides.
Stick his tongue out, bro.
All
All right,
right.
let's get into the
What we
NFL
got,
news that's
Bobby?
been happening. We got the Falcons uniforms. I don't know if DJ's gonna put them on the screen,
I'm
but
not putting them up, but
I,
I believe y'all have
I
seen them.
personally like them. DJ
I like
hates them.
them.
I don't know.
No, I don't hate
Oh,
them. They're
I
just
like what
bland.
you
They're
hate
just
them.
bland. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I
and
like
what do you
I like simple uniforms. I feel like they're the name should have been a lot bigger though on the chest.
Mm.
really
Yeah, it's
see?
too
That was
small.
that was the issue last time when they revealed their old jerseys.
That's just because it said ATL.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what do you think about
In
the
my
Falcons?
opinion, they're lucky really basic, but you know, it is what it is. I do agree that the font is a little small though for the wording.
I think they definitely uh,
They upgraded for sure.
upgraded with the number font
They
and
did.
the font on the back of the jerseys. I think they should have put some pinstripes on the shoulder pads, on the shoulders, not
They
shoulder
definitely should
pads.
have.
That's
Like
crazy,
my least favorite is definitely the white on black.
right?
It
So
just looks too.
I low key wanna see all black.
I want to see the all black. That
Let's see the classic all black. That goes so hard with the red helmet. Yeah, that goes so hard.
yeah, I like them. You know, a lot of these uniforms always look better on the field. Like I didn't
Right.
like the Broncos ones when they first revealed them, but you know, once you see them on the field, that's what really changes the opinion. So,
Even well, the Texans already had theirs. Like
hmm
it was already uh, gonna be nice either way. So yeah. Moving on, the Giants sign offensive guard Daniel Faalele. And what do you feel about? How do you feel about that signing?
Uh,
Since you're familiar with him.
hate that guy, bro. He's one of like the top like 5 worst guards of all time. Him and Anthony Blackford. Ford.
Bradford, that's who you
Bradford.
meant. I was
Yes.
Bradford.
like,
No,
this dude keeps
Anthony
saying Anthony
Black.
Black. I'm like, it's
I'm
not.
like,
My
damn, Anthony.
bad.
What did Anthony Black do? That's
Anthony
my
Black's a
guy.
big ass center. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Anthony
he's a
Black
big
is
ass
in the
guard.
NBA, bro.
He a big ass guard. That's what he is in the
Imagine
NBA.
Anthony Black, bro. Little scrawny guy. Anyways, but yeah, no, Daniel Faalele, he's very terrible. Like I never seen a terrible top 5 terrible offensive guard edit of anybody until him and Mister Blackford, Bareford,
Bradford.
Bradfoot,
Bradford.
Bradfoot, Brad. Yeah, that guy. But yeah, it's funny. So
He
yeah,
went. Bradford wants to take a cold picture when LeBron Ray was across from him. If it was Derek Brown, that picture would have been tough. But LeBron Ray,
Come on, bro. Come on,
that
bro.
guy was in the UFL 2 years ago.
Granted, he's solid.
Yeah,
He's
he's
solid. He's
rotational.
solid. Yeah, he's a rotation guy. But come on now. All right. In other news, the Commanders are revealing their new uniforms on April 15th, which is actually in 5 days. So,
Yeah, we
uh,
talked about him in the last episode. It's just an update. So in the next week's second video, y'all will see them.
hmm
Also the same with the Ravens. The
Baltimore
Ravens one
Ravens.
came out of nowhere, like just a random post. Like I was telling Bobby, I was like, you know, the Ravens getting new uniforms. He was like, what,
I
bro?
was like, when?
It's like the most
The
chill post. It
draft is in
says
2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. It's in like 13 days.
all it said
And
is the next flight.
yeah, they're coming out with new uniforms on the 16th, which is just crazy. So, uh, yeah, cool, cool for them. New
We'll see
era,
what they
I
do.
guess. I
New
hope
look,
it's just not.
same DNA.
I just hope it's not
mm,
trash. I swear, if it's trash, like
I think they're just gonna go modern.
yeah, they better put some wings on them shoulders or something.
Hopefully,
That go hard.
they
wings.
might have an alternate like wings helmet.
Yeah,
I know it's too
oh,
much
that
like the
go hard.
Eagles, but
Yeah.
who cares? You're a bird as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Seahawks could do it too if they wanted.
Yeah.
Cardinals damn near did it. I
Cardinals.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the bird teams except for the Falcons. I hate them. All right, let's
Sorry.
let's talk about some of these draft prospects. Projected number 1 pick Fernando Mendoza is not attending the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. I assume he's staying with his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Speaking
lot of
on
guys are.
with Mendoza, I don't know. I liked when the NFL like invited like 30 or 40 guys, and if they got drafted in the first, they got the ability to walk up there on the stage. But now, ever since COVID, they only invite like 16 guys. So the
Yeah,
guys this year that are invited or that will attend: David Bailey, Colton Hood, Vel Reese, Ruben Bain, Makai Lemon, Ty Simpson, Mansour Delane. We got Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Francis Malinoa, Carnell Tate, Keldrick Falk, Caden McDonald, Jordyn Tyson, and Caden Proctor. Those are all the guys that will attend the draft, but all those should go in the first. We'll see if Ty Simpson slides into the first round. That's going to be the only interesting one. Might have to start putting him in a late first round pick spot.
It's been like fluctuating.
It's
Some
gonna
saying,
rise just because quarterback
yeah,
is just very important. So
important
he's
right
gonna.
now.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's gonna go in the first, whether it's a team trading up like the Giants did last year for Jackson Dart.
Hmm.
Like I feel like something like that's gonna happen just because quarterback's a value position. Some team wants to get their quarterback.
Right. All right. Next up is Tennessee cornerback who was just mentioned earlier, Jermod McCoy. That
This
guy's
one, this
ridiculous.
one was funny because man, we thought his stock was down because the injury, and then literally the day that the video, last week's video was uploading, he had his pro day and he ran like a 4.38,
I think so, if I'm
like
not mistaken. It was
off a torn
ridiculous.
ACL, a 4.38. So his stock is back up. He's going in
Yeah,
the top 15.
he's back up there. Yeah, for sure.
It was
Um,
right after we,
hey, we got him on a top 30 visit, so
yeah,
we're
he's
we're
coming to
looking at
visit tomorrow. The day
yeah,
this video is being uploaded on the 10th. It's my
the
sister's
Friday.
birthday. Hold on.
Happy birthday to DJ's sister, Deja or
Deja.
Demi?
Demi
Deja.
is the 29th.
Happy birthday to Deja. Let me guess, 25.
She like,
26.
no, she 27.
27, damn.
I'm close enough.
See, I
Happy
wasn't trying to make her.
birthday. Bobcast said it too.
Happy birthday. Oh, hold on.
You the birthday. No, man.
You the birthday.
Yes, that's going on the bid. I don't care.
I'll call her in a little
No.
bit.
All right. Well, this is the main topic. We're going to be talking about some of our sleeper prospects that we were assigned by a random number generator. DJ did that work for us.
Thank you,
The
DJ.
first, our first
Yeah.
guys are going to be first guys that are most likely going in the first round unless, some freak injury or something happens or, they're smoking a bong like Laramie Tunsil did in the gas mask. What?
If okay, if any prospect were to like do that, who do you think it would be?
If any prospect was to do that, ooh, it's probably one of them wide receivers.
Makai Lemon.
Makai
Makai
Lemon will be the one.
yes.
Gas mask smoking a bong.
Yes.
Yep.
No question
You would
about
do
it, bro.
something like that.
But yeah, so our first guys are projected first rounders, and after that we go from second to near fourth round picks. So I'm gonna get us
Almost.
started with my first guy, who is Kenyon Sadiq. With Kenyon, oh shoot. So we got a couple things that we wanted to look at with it. So obviously Kenyon Sadiq, tight end from Oregon. He's 6'3", 241. His hands are about 10 inches, which is the average size for a tight end, and his arms are a little bit below average at 31 and a half. At the combine, he ran a 4.3940, a 1.54 10-yard split. He also had a 43 and a half inch vert with a 11 foot broad jump. Um, he didn't do the 3 cone. He didn't do the 20-yard shuttle. A lot of guys don't do those nowadays. He did do 26 bench press reps. And for him, I see him going as high as, I would say, the Saints at pick 8. I don't really see him going higher than that, but the lowest, probably around where we had him in our last mock draft at 27 to the 49ers. He's definitely a first rounder. It's just how do teams value tight ends, so you don't know how his value is going to fluctuate. And for his pro comp, I really like Evan Ingram for him. They both have the same yak ability. I also said Noah Fant in there a little bit just because the athleticism. Um, his strengths for Kenyon are his size, his frame. He's very athletic. You can move him around. His yak ability, like I keep mentioning, you're gonna hear that a lot with him. And because his size, you can match him up against corners. He can burn safeties. He can burn linebackers. And weaknesses, really, it's just he's not the best blocker. Um, he's gonna get beat by some DNs, even D tackles. Like that's just something that he can work on and get better on to become a better player in the league. And after watching a little film, like I said, he can line up anywhere. At Oregon, he lined up in the backfield slot, tied in at the outside wide receiver slot. Just because he's so athletic, he can do that. He's a tall wide receiver. You see that a lot with these type of tight ends in the league, and yeah, he's a matchup nightmare. I've even seen some clips where Oregon used him in jet sweep, so some teams will love to get him. As I'm getting to my team fits now, my first one is the Chiefs. Start preparing for life after Kelsey, and he can fit right in with Kelsey due to his versatility. That can slide him out, that can put him in the backfield, draw up some creative plays. I also have the Jets just because of that offensive playmaker, and it's one of those like BPA spots. If he falls to you at what the Jets have 16, I feel like that's a nice spot. You can take him. Plus, I say this all the time because you hear it all the time because the Jets are obviously going to draft a quarterback next year. A tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. So this could be trying to build around their potential, probably number one pick next year. I also have the Buccaneers. Kadon shouldn't stop you from drafting Kenyon Sadiq at all, really. Kenyon's different. Like Kadon, you can get him on the screen. Same thing you could do with Kenyon, but Kenyon has the yards after catch ability. Kadon's gonna get caught because he's not the fastest as well. He's a better blocker than Kenyon, so they can actually match up pretty well. I also have the Panthers. We need a tight end. Our GM, head coach Dave Canales have been talking about getting a tight end. He's the type of tight end they like, with versatility, the way they can move him around. And I also put the 49ers. Reason we had him there for the last mock draft. Kittle's always hurt. Life after Kittle because Kittle is already in his 30s. So the 49ers would be a very good fit. I would hate it as being a Panthers fan in the NFC, but he doesn't have any injury concerns as well, so teams will value that. For his floor, I have him being a high end backup, if anything, or a low end starter where, he's just a serviceable tight end. Not one of the best, like basically like Evan Ingram with the Broncos this year, just one of those type of tight ends. But at his ceiling, he could definitely be a top 10 tight end. I was thinking of like a Trey McBride. They're similar size. Trey McBride's just, I think, an inch taller than him, but besides that, they're around the same weight. So my first guy was Kenyon Sadiq. And I would draft him personally. And his hype is just perfectly right because he's a tight end, so you know what you're getting, and you know how teams are going to value tight ends. So it's not like he's overhyped in a way. And hopefully he's not frozen when it's his turn.
Yeah.
Go
Put a
ahead, Ant.
picture up.
He's moving though, right for you?
Oh yeah, you're moving for me.
All right. So, yeah, for my guy, I have cornerback Colton Hood from Tennessee. His measurements are 5'11". Ooh, what
You go ahead and
Oh shoot, my bad. That was for me. His combine stats is he ran a 4.44 second 40. Had a 40.5 inch vert and a 10 foot 5 inches broad jump. His draft range, I think he can definitely go in the first round from as high as the 10th round pick to as low as a 32nd round pick. Um, I did look into some of like his comp for the NFL. A lot of people do compare him to a Trent McDuffie in a way. Similar physical profiles and being able to like stick to their man in coverage, and also their ball tracking skills, um, and also their speed, both really quick on their feet. Um, some of his strengths and weaknesses, I would definitely say his strengths is his ability to press in man coverage, and he has really good acceleration, um, allowing him to stay close and close the gap whenever he's tailing wide receivers. Some of the weaknesses that he has is that he needs to stop being like really touchy at the top of the route because that could cause a lot of penalties, which could eventually cause yardage and everything. So um, Um, he also like needs to learn how to tackle better, as I've seen from his film and highlights. He does remind me a lot of Chet McDuffie. He's really good in shutting down a lot of wide receivers. Sorry, phone is busy. Um, I would say that he has also really good ball tracking skills. I did see him cause a lot of pass deflections and interceptions, so he is really good as a cornerback. Um, let me see. Moving on to the teams I think could best use him would be the Cowboys, Dolphins, us, the Rams, and the Seahawks. I said all these teams need a player like Hood, being a physical player maker and with his run support skills. Uh, he would strive in the Cowboys defense, especially as he is fast and physical as an outside cornerback. Um, let me see. Also, the Seahawks. I feel like he could really cover up that spot for uh Reek Woolen. But there is some downsides. He did have a calf strain back in 25, where he did leave the second half of the game against Kentucky. His floor. Uh, I asked the guys for advice on this one. They both said that he would be a nice nickel corner slash slot corner. And his ceiling, he would be a nice cornerback matching up against a bunch of the wide receiver twos in the league. Um, as far as drafting or passing on him, I would definitely draft him, as he is a very physical cornerback and great in man coverage and mid in zone coverage, because they did show some plays where he was playing zone coverage. He's not as good, but he'll get there. And he also causes a lot of pass deflections as well as possible interceptions. Um, and yeah, completes my guy.
Well, for my first guy, I have Jordyn Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona. He stands at 6'2", 203 pounds, with 30 and 1/4 inch arms and 9 1/8 hands. Did I say inch? I didn't say inch. But for his combine, he didn't do the physical, like the 40 yard, the broad jump and things of that nature. He only did his bench press, which I mentioned in the previous couple episodes. I think he did 26 reps there, but he did do a private workout yesterday, right? April 9th. Still haven't gotten any information about that, but he was able to do his private workout because he did not participate in his pro day. For my draft range for him, I have him as high as pick 6, I think, at Cleveland. I think that's Cleveland there. And then low is 21 to Pittsburgh. He has a wide range of just in that whole area there. So he can go in between those spots. But for my pro comps, I gave him, or first, I looked at what the NFL gave him for his draft profile. They gave him Terry McLaurin. For me, when I was watching his film, I gave him Khalil Shakir just for his versatility, being able to switch from wide receiver one to the slot. He has some pretty big time speed whenever he gets separation. He can make defenders miss, especially coming off screens, and he can make contested catches, which is a plus, especially standing at 6'2". You should be able to have that contested catch ability and being able to jump for jump balls. Those were my strengths I just listed off. Some of his weaknesses, his health. He's been having this lingering hamstring injury that basically kind of just hindered his stock a little bit. That's why like you kind of see him fluctuating from as high as his pick 6, some down to like maybe 25, 26 around that range. So his health is definitely kind of ruining his stock right now. But another thing that I listed here, he's not really that good at in breaking routes. He loses his momentum, and his footwork isn't that great. But for the team fits I have for him, I have the Ravens, as I still think they need a very versatile number two. As Rashad Bateman he's a decent wide receiver, but he's not like a big time player like uh, Jordyn Tyson could possibly be. The Dolphins really don't have a true wide receiver one. He could just slot right in that spot and be an immediate superstar if he develops in their system. I picked the Steelers, which is an interesting spot because they did get Michael Pittman in the trade with the Indianapolis Colts. But to be honest, I still think that he'd be a really good wide receiver number three, and eventually if DK and Michael Pittman were not to be on the team in the future, he could keep rising up and moving up in the depth chart and be the eventual wide receiver number one. The Jets, also another situation with the Ravens. They don't really have a true number two. I know they have Garrett Wilson, who's their star wide receiver. So getting a extra weapon for the current time, and maybe next year you could get the number one pick and draft the best quarterback. So um, just have another weapon, have him develop there, and just get used to the scheme there. And then the Patriots, after losing Stephon Diggs, having a number one wide receiver like Jordyn Tyson would be uh, a plus for them. So it's basically the same situation with the Dolphins as well. Some of his injury concerns, like I alluded to before, he had his hamstring injuries throughout 2025. He injured his knee back in 22, and he had a collarbone injury in 24. So there's definitely some concerns there, especially when it came to the hamstring, since he missed the combine and he missed his pro day. Luckily, he was able to do his own private workout, so hopefully he showed some promise there. For my ceiling, I know he trained with Hines Ward, so I kind of gave him that ceiling, being a really good Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. He could definitely be up there as a really good wide receiver that was able to have a really good career. And then I gave him a Jordy Nelson floor. I know Jordy Nelson was really solid. He only made one Pro Bowl, but to be honest, Jordyn Tyson definitely has that capability of being a really good wide receiver in the league. I draft him even with the injury concerns. I think you just don't pass up on talent as good. I know there's other wide receivers like Makai Lemon. I know Carnell Tate is definitely a top six, top seven pick, and there's other guys there. And I feel like his hype kind of dwindled down when it came to his injuries. But I feel like he's perfectly hyped in this situation. So there's Jordyn Tyson.
All right. All right, here we go. Now, my next guy is Josiah Trotter, linebacker from Missouri. He is 6'2", 237, 32 and a quarter arms and 10 and a quarter hands. Um, I like him a lot. I've been watching his film a little bit. Both of those, his arms and hands are average. He did not participate in the combine or pro day due to a right knee injury, but he did do the bench press and ended up doing 27 reps. The highest I see him going is around pick 41, so in round two, and the lowest probably around pick 70, so that's early round three. So basically like a mid second to early third round pick. His pro comps for him, I have Jordan Brooks and Nick Bolton, two linebackers that are very good run stoppers, but you can expose them in coverage. His strengths, he has strong hands to engage with blockers. He's a very good blitzer. He does have some pass rush tools and tricks. He's an elite run defender. He has very good downhill instincts. He's a very smart guy. Has high IQ. He's physical. What I was looking into him, and I see it. People are calling him like an old school style linebacker. You know, your old school style linebackers weren't really good in coverage anyway. They're gonna go down and go hit someone, and that's what Josiah Trotter would do. His weaknesses, he can't cover. He can't cover anything. He struggles against athletic tight ends. He struggles with recognizing zones. Yeah, he's just a weak guy in coverage. So looking at the film, yeah, he's very good when running downhill. He's elusive, getting past linemen. He's a very strong tackler. He will wrap you up and take you to the ground. He even rushed off the edge, so a little bit of versatility there, maybe in a 3-4 scheme. And he's very good at sniffing out screens. For me, the best team fits I gave him are a couple of them are teams that have very good cover linebackers that are able to cover up for his inability to cover. So I have the 49ers. Obviously, they have Fred Warner there. This would just be a nice guy to slide right next to him. Both of them will be a very good run stopping duo. I also have the Eagles with Zach Bond. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other teams as well. I just mentioned teams that would do the best for his development. That's why it's the best team fits. But yeah, the Eagles, Zach Bond is a very good cover linebacker. He would be able to slide in right next to him. The Chargers with Dayon Henley, I didn't know he was that good in coverage till I started looking into him. And the Broncos, they don't really have a good cover linebacker, but they just need a linebacker. They just need anyone, and Josiah Trotter has a lot of upside. Um, he does have injury concerns, a lingering right knee injury, like I talked about, which kept him out of his pro day and the combine. Um, for his floor, I have him just being an elite run stopping linebacker with high IQ. Um, and for his ceiling, he could be a very good three down linebacker if he can improve his coverage skills, which is why I would like him going to a team like the 49ers, the Eagles, learn under these very good linebackers, even the Ravens in there with Roquan Smith. Um, so I would draft him, but I would just say he's a little bit overhyped just due to his father, just the name. There's always those guys where if they're a kid of a former NFL legend or just NFL, just a good guy in the NFL, they're gonna get hyped just from the name. It happens in all sports, not even just football. So that is my guy, Josiah Trotter.
All right, so I just realized that like I messed up this guy's floor and ceiling, bro. I think I mixed it up with something else. I mixed it up with the draft range, but anyways, we move. My next guy is defensive tackle. Defensive tackle. I feel like I didn't say that. Defensive tackle Lee Hunter from Texas Tech. His measurement is 6'3" and a whopping 330 pounds. His combine stats is 5.18 on his 40, and he had a 21.5 vert with a 8'4" broad jump. His draft range is, I believe, well, I think is going to be around the second, mid to late draft, probably going around the 30th to the 50th. Um, his NFL comp, from what I'm seeing from the actual NFL site, is they're comparing him to Davion Tomlinson, Sean Robinson, and
Dalvin.
Harrison.
Dalvin
Dalvin.
Tomlinson.
Dalvin Thompson, my bad. Ashawn Robinson and Harrison Phillips. Uh, it does say that he is similar to these guys because they're known for being big, physical, and being just gap fillers for the run, and also how he's able to just shred down double blockings. Um, some of his strengths and weaknesses. Biggest strength for him is just being able to stop the run and being a big gap filler for that defensive line that he played for. Some of his weaknesses is that he's only known for being a run stopper, not really not really good at producing pass rushing or pressures. Um, but I did watch some film, and wherever I got that from was definitely a lie because he is very much able to produce pass pressures. Produce pressures. Oh my gosh. And stuff up the middle whenever it comes to runs. Also causing a lot of QBs to scramble. So what I don't really think he has that much of a weaknesses. Like his weakness isn't really his biggest weakness. I think I just lied on that part, low key.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, his weakness isn't really his weakness because he's able to do both. He's able to be a good pass rusher and run stopper. So some of the best fits I have him going to is the Ravens, the Jaguars, and the Bears. All these teams I think could use this type of physical defensive tackle that could help their defense stuff up the run game. Um, about injury concerns, he's not really labeled as having any major injuries, but he is labeled as having bad weight balance issues, I guess. Um, NFL says that could affect his durability in the NFL, but I'm not too sure. Um, the floor and ceiling. Uh, I don't think I wrote that correctly, but yeesh. Y'all see it? I sounded so dumb putting that.
Go
What?
ahead to say what you got to say, bro.
For the floor and ceiling, bro. I was supposed to put. comp. I put early early second round for his floor and for his ceiling,
Let's see.
bro. I put second round
Oh
pick
yeah, he
again,
did.
bro. I messed up on that.
He said mid second round, mid to late draft going. He's talking about Lee Hunter, right?
No,
Yeah,
basically he put the draft range as his floor and ceiling.
yeah. I mixed it
Oh,
up, but I
oh,
also put second round
thank
You
twice.
God I
know what
didn't
that
put
calls
that.
for, guys.
Hi, next.
Hit
You can leave,
it
I
again,
wish
Bobby.
come back
the
Hit it.
audience
next,
saw.
bro.
Hit it. They can see you. Yes.
No,
No,
that just hurt the
no,
shit out of my
no,
forearm,
Yes,
but we'll
sir.
be good.
no.
Long as
Yes,
Ant hits
Anyways,
that
sir.
X.
Ain't got an X.
anyways, we move. So yes, on to the next topic. Drafting or passing him. I would definitely like to draft him because he's just a big physical defensive tackle, big, strong, and physical. He's just a dog in the trenches. And overhyped, underhyped. I think he is underhyped, just because of his weaknesses. People think that like his weight would really like mess him up, but I seen the way he was moving in his highlights. I don't think his weight is his problem, so I think he's very underhyped.
Well, for me, my second guy, a guy that I've honestly been intrigued, Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. He stands also at 6'2", but he's a little bit heavier than Jordyn Tyson at 222 pounds. He has 31 and third quarter inch arms and 10-inch hands. I think those are big hands. So, um, yeah. Due to his torn ACL in the late part of his season with Louisville. He did not participate in the combine or at his pro day, so we didn't get to see much physical activity from him. But my draft range for him, I have him early second round and going into the third for my pro comp. Now this is funny. When I was looking at the film, immediately Xavier Leggett. And then I'll go on. I think I looked it up. I try to look at. I looked at Bleacher Report, also Xavier Leggett, and I told DJ this guy's compared to Xavier Leggett, and I absolutely hated it, but it's okay because he also has an AJ Brown comparison, which is cool to have, I guess. But some of his strengths that I wrote down: he's a big body with great contested catch ability. He has the ability to create acceleration off of crossers. Physical with his hands and able to compete with physical handsy corners or safeties, whatever. And he has the yards after catch ability. And for some of his weaknesses, obviously his injury, his ACL injury that basically derailed his season and derailed his stock overall going into this year. But um, he struggles to beat press cleanly with his footwork. I saw some of his film. I think it was against Pitt. There was one where he was just completely off, but he was able to remove the defender and make a tough catch. But he's not really good at selling his routes either. He also slows his feet when turning to locate the ball. For the best team fits, I gave the Patriots. Obviously, I said earlier about Jordyn Tyson. Uh, to have a number one wide receiver would be nice. If I wouldn't be surprised if they doubled down on wide receiver in the first, second, or third round in between those rounds. So that would probably be a nice selection to have a physical receiver, two tall receivers, actually, fairly tall receivers. So that would be nice. The Cardinals, another team that kind of needs another wide receiver. I know Michael Wilson came, um, he kind of rose up in the ranks, I guess, if you would say, for the Cardinals. So he'd probably be the wide receiver number two behind Marvin Harrison. But Chris Bell could be a depth piece for his rookie year, just learning under Mike LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, right? Just learning under him, so that'd be a nice place for him to go. I picked the Browns as well. Jerry Judy's okay. Um, Chris Bell probably won't end up being a number one for like the first or second year, but he could jump up there in Cleveland and make something happen. And then another team that needs another wide receiver is the Tennessee Titans. Um, yeah, they don't really have that good of wide receivers. So, um, yeah. For his injuries concern, I've already alluded to his ACL tear in the late half of the season of his college season. I think he's a senior, so um, that kind of just concerns that concern any scout, any coach. But um, That's probably the one injury that I could uh, find. For his ceiling and floor, I gave him fringe Pro Bowler. He could get up there. He could be one of those solid um, players that could make one Pro Bowl in his career, maybe with the right development, with the right team, of course. But I gave him fringe Pro Bowler. He could be solid. And then for his floor, I gave him rotational wide receiver, as I said earlier. Just a guy that could come and make a big catch in the red zone. He could probably be a red zone threat when it comes to like fades and things of that nature. I'd pass just due to his injury, uh, but draft him as the best player available, honestly. So and I said he's underhyped due to his injury as well. So overall, Chris Bell could be a really solid wide receiver, but it's probably going to take some time due to his injury. So we'll see when time comes for Chris Bell.
All right. That goes into my next guy, who is going to be Derek Moore, edge rusher from Michigan. He is 6'4", 255. He's a big edge rusher. Um, he had a 30-inch vert and a 9'7" broad jump. He did not do the combine due to a minor hamstring injury. Um, so the vert and the broad jump were from his pro day. His draft range, I see him going uh about mid second to early third. His pro comp is current Seahawks defensive end Derek Hall. They both have a similar build and pass rush moves because they're both are bull rushers. His strengths, his size, his frame. He has downhill momentum. He can move his feet very well. On the weaknesses, he's not really uh, an, a run defender. Sometimes in the run, he'll sit on his block too long. Um, he's not very quick. He has a slow first step, and his bend isn't that good as well. And for the film breakdown, like I said earlier, he's a bull rusher. He's gonna use power moves on you. He's gonna try and go through the offensive tackle. And on pass rushing, he does have nice disengaging. Having the lineman there and then moving their hands off. He could do that, and he uses his hands to go through guards. So when I was watching that at Michigan, he played the three tech a couple times, um, which means he's playing on the guard, even though he's an edge rusher. The best team fits for him, I have the Seahawks. Like I said, reminds me of Derek Hall, who also plays the three tech. But Seahawks, their edge rushers are older in Demarcus Lawrence. Um, he can slide into the rotation right away, play some three tech. The Chargers as well could use that depth on the edge, um, and and in the three tech in the inside because I don't think they really have that much interior pressure. And then the Patriots, obviously they lost Caleb Chasson, so edge help needed, and the interior pass rush wasn't the best. Like I know they had Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, uh, Devon Godchild if he's still there, but yeah, their interior pass rush wasn't the best. So Derek Moore can help with both. Um, so if you look at what I said for him, uh, I would draft him if you're a win now team. He's an older prospect. He's 23, I believe. Gonna be 24, I think, in the middle of the year. So it's one of those guys that you draft if you want to win now because he's gonna come in more polished than guys you have to develop like a Keldrick Falk, who's uh, a raw prospect. His injury concerns, like I said, just the minor hamstring injury from this year that held him out of the combine. And I would say he's underhyped. I haven't heard much of him. And a lot of people like hating on these older prospects. So I would draft him myself as well, especially if the Panthers are trying to win the NFC South, like they've been saying. This would be a nice third round pick that I wouldn't mind, especially because he could play the three tech. Like I know we got Jalen Phillips, but there's always you can never have enough edge depth. We learned that. So yeah, Derek Moore. We'll see where he goes in the draft.
All right, for the next guy, I have a Georgia tight end, and Oscar Delp. His measurements is 6'5", 6 foot, sorry, 6'5" 245 pounds. Um,
No, you said it right the first time.
yeah, no,
You're
I
right.
don't know
You said it
why. I don't know why I said that multiple times. His pro day, Um, stats are 4.4 for the 40, 4.44 for the 40. Sorry, and he had a 38.5 vert. Um, his draft range, I have him going in second or third round, or just being a second or third round pick. Oops, I didn't put specifically where or what pick, but I just said around between those rounds. Um, I asked the guys again for what comp do they think he would be, and DJ said JC Sanders. Isn't he with y'all?
Yes.
I think I also seen that I whenever I looked it up. But yes, um, strength and weaknesses. Him being a big guy, he has a very soft-handed catches. As I've seen his film, he has good speed to outrun the linebackers, corners, or safeties. And he has really good footwork. Um, his weaknesses is that he tends to overlean on some of the routes. Also has short arms. I didn't write down the measurement of his arms, but he does really have short arms, which doesn't really help him contesting the ball. And I didn't really see him take that many physical hits. Like he just falls as soon as he catches the ball. Um, that was like one of the things I didn't really like, but
Why are you laughing?
you know, it is what it is. Um,
Why?
so
How am
I'm gonna just touch more into the film focus. After watching his film, I realized that he does have really like reliable hands, and he has good little speeds, good little burst of speed. Oh my gosh, sorry. Some team fits that I think he could go to is the Broncos, Chiefs, or Bengals. Bengals, not really too sure on who their tight end is. The Chiefs, with Kelsey getting older, they could definitely use a good tight end like him. Um, he's still young too. I think he's only like 23, 24. So, and also the Broncos, because the Broncos really don't have a starting tight end. Um, another thing that I noticed for his film was that he was used for short round play short route plays. Sorry, text message. Um, let's see what else should I put. Injury concerns. He's not labeled as having any major injuries, but ooh, I accidentally screwed up to Hunter Lee. Oh my. Yeah, no, slap the X on me, bro. Just give me the X. It's whatever. Anyways, what was that? Injuries. He has been playing through a hairline fracture in his foot. Um, I don't know how that works. Hairline fracture in his foot. Interesting. Um, but yeah, he's been playing through a hairline fracture in his foot. Didn't realize it till the uh really well in his pro day though. So he didn't do the combine, but he ended up playing in his pro day, which he did really well. For his floor and ceiling, I have his floor as him being a backup tight end. For his ceiling, he could be a very serviceable, serviceable, serviceable tight end. Um, even though he does have his downsides of having short arms and everything. But yeah. Um, I would, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't draft him just because he's only like known for being used for those short route plays. Um, I would want a tight end that would be able to like block, especially for like his size. He is pretty hefty. I look at thought he'd be good at blocking, but not as much as I thought. Um, so those are some reasons why I wouldn't draft him. Um, I don't even know why I put this or who put this, but I don't remember typing this. But overhyped or underhyped? I put him at overhyped. He only gets the hype due to his college. I don't remember. I don't remember saying that, but I guess.
I mean, to each their own, man. To each their own. All right, for my next guy, I have Brandon Cisse, or I don't. I think it's Cisse. I'm pretty sure it's Cisse. He's a cornerback out of South Carolina. He stands at 6 foot flat. He weighs 189, with 30 and 3/4 inch arms and 1.5 inch hands. He participated in both the combine and his pro day. He only did vertical and the broad jump at the combine. He jumped 48 inches on his vert, and he leaped. He did his broad jump and got 10 feet 11 inches. And then at his pro day, he ran his 40. He ran a 4 4, a 4 a 4 4 um 40. Again, he had a 41-inch vert, same broad jump as well at 10 feet 11 inches. He did the shuttle. He got 433, and he did 15 bench reps. I have him at a draft range at around the late first round, maybe early second, most likely early second, as some guys that were in the second round are jumping up into the first round. His comp, obviously, a South Carolina quarterback, you can't not think of J.C. Horn. He does really play like J.C. Horn at times, especially when it comes to coming down and stopping the run. I watched a bit of his film, and that's what I really grasped. He in his strengths, I put supports the run like a box safety. He really does play like a Morig in a sense. I'm not trying to compare him to Panthers players, as Panthers love to pursue South Carolina prospects, but it really did feel that way. He really helps out on the run. He could beat blockers with his quickness and ability to meet running backs in the backfield or near the line of scrimmage. He sits on short routes and squeezes workspace from off man. I also noticed that as well. Some of his weaknesses, he has below average in route recognition and break matching from off. I don't know why I wrote that. Probably needs to be more consistent at reading the quarterback's eyes, and he has below average tracking and adjustment. Oh my god. On downfield 50-50 balls. I did see one clip from his film that showed exactly that he couldn't really find the ball. So um, that's probably something he will have to improve. Some of the team fits I gave him were the 49ers. I know they don't really have any corners like that. I think I've alluded to that many times before. But that'll be a really good spot for them or for him and them. The Chiefs, another team that really needs a corner right now after losing Trent McDuffie and I forget his name, but he also went to the Rams as well. So maybe picking up a corner in the second round would be nice for them. They also have two first round picks, so don't I wouldn't be surprised if they take him with that second first round pick. The Titans, I know they cut L'Jarius Sneed this offseason, so maybe picking up a corner would be solid there. For I picked the Saints as well. I know they have Kool-Aid McKinstry, but I still don't think that stops you from selecting another corner in this draft. And then the Jags, I know they don't really have. I know they lost a corner, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his name, but yeah, just positional needs. Um, no injury concerns. I couldn't find none really, but for his ceiling and floor, I have him being probably like a 2 to 3 time Pro Bowler. He could definitely be up there with some of the great corners. I know the whole cornerback scene is really good, so it might be hard for him to get in some of those Pro Bowls. And for his floor, I gave him solid starter. He could be a rotational corner. Maybe he could flip flop between playing the box and then playing number one wide receiver. But I really like how he plays. I draft him, especially if he's the best player available. But probably way too similar to how J.C. Horn plays, and he'll probably be like just carbon copy to an extent. And I really haven't heard much of him throughout this whole draft process. Obviously, there was some mock drafts that had him going in the first, but with some guys jumping up, as I said earlier, probably gotten that underhyped label. So that is Brandon Cisse.
Yes, that is Brandon Cisse. All right. My next guy is Chris Brazel, a second wide receiver from Tennessee. He is 6'4", 198. He ran a 4.3740 and a 1.52 10-yard split for his draft range. I can see him going in the late first. Like, if you look at him, like this is what teams value. Like first, tall, he's 6'4", and sub 4.40. Like, so I see him going. He's gonna go either late first to late second. It just depends on how the teams value his speed and if they think he can be an actual wide receiver. For his player player comps, I have two guys that he really reminds me of in Marvin, not Marvin Harrison, Christian Watson, and Marquez Valdez Scantling. They're all tall, slim, fast wide receivers, deep threats. Um, for his strengths, he's a tall target. He has a wide catch radius. He has nice break in his mid routes. His footwork is very good, especially on the boundary. Weaknesses, again, with all these tall wide receivers, separation isn't guaranteed. That's just always something with them where it's just something they got to work on. His hands can be inconsistent at times. He dropped a few balls here and there. Not any big balls, but dropped a few. And he didn't play much press man in college, so seeing him play press man in the NFL will be different. See how he can adjust and see if that could just fully knock him off of his groove. After watching film, he has nice hips. He's fluid. Like I mentioned earlier, he can break down with his on his routes. He can line up everywhere, especially in the slot. He could be a tall slot wide receiver. His jump balls are not 50-50. They're about 90-10. Every jump ball he came down with. And he's a little shifty. He got some moves in him. Can hit a little juke, spin, and he burnt everyone off the line. I mean everyone, every safety, every corner, every linebacker, whoever was on him, he burnt them off the line. Best team fits, I have the Bills. Getting Josh Allen, a outside threat wide receiver, because obviously they got DJ Moore, but he reminds me a lot of Khalil Shakir, where he's more of the yards after catch. I feel like the Bills need their deep threat guy, and Chris Brazzell could be that. I have the Bears as well. They don't really have another team that doesn't really have a deep threat. They have Rome, they have Luther, but a tall deep threat really. The Ravens, Zay Flowers can't go. You can't go into this next season with Zay Flowers as your wide receiver one. He could be a very good wide receiver too. I feel like Chris Brazzell could step up. Completely new scheme as well. So we got to see what the Ravens even do. They value their wide receivers tall. And I also have the Patriots. He just fits their scheme of tall, speedster, deep threat. That like watch the Patriots the past year. A lot of their plays were just throw it down there to whatever guy's deep. He has no injury concerns. His floor, I have him being just a specialized deep threat. Come in just Jahan Dotson's role for the Eagles this past year, past 2 years, like that type of role. And then his ceiling, he could be a wide receiver one, just because of his height. Obviously, he's going to build up a little muscle because being 198 is a little slim. He'll build up some. He could be a deep threat. I would draft him, like I said earlier, 6'4" with sub 4.4 40. Would draft that anytime. And he's underhyped. He doesn't get a lot of hype, probably because he's reminding a lot of people of Jalen Hyatt, just because another deep threat. He wasn't as tall, but just another speedster deep threat. So that's why everyone's underrating him. Like Chris Brazzell is going to be to see where he goes in this draft process and how teams value him.
All right, so it's me. Um, what? Oh, sorry.
The
I'm
ant
the
cam.
center of attention. I don't like this, but it's something that we're changing. Slowly with our podcast. As you guys can see, I got a ring light. But that's why I was geeked in the beginning of this episode because of the ring light. Finally get to see my face and everything. Anyways, back to the pod. Um, I have my guy LSU linebacker, Arnold Perkins. Uh, his measurements is a 6'1", 222 pounds. His combine stats were 4.38, 40, 10 foot, 4 inches, broad jump. Uh, his draft range, I have him going in the second round, maybe mid, second to third. Sorry, what? Oh my gosh, I've not labeled these correctly. Mm. I haven't. Sorry, I haven't going to the second to third to the mid third round pick. Oh my, that was a mouthful, but it wasn't really on paper. His NFL comp is Harrison Reddick, Von Miller, and Levante David. Um, the reason why the NFL put these guys compared to him is like he's just really violent. He's really powerful. But he also is pretty small. Um, as I would list his weaknesses. Um, as far as his strengths go, he's very athletic, good pass rusher. Has very good speed whenever chasing down the quarterback or running back. Is very versatile, can play edge and also an off. He can also play as an off-ball linebacker. Sorry, and is considered to have a nose for the ball. Um, he's also known for being a really explosive playmaker. Some of his weaknesses, sorry, some of his weaknesses is that he is a little undersized whenever it comes to your traditional linebacker, which leads to him getting beat by bigger, stronger linemen. Um, he also struggles to diagnose run plays, having missed tackles and everything. Uh, can play well if the defensive scheme doesn't know how to use him correctly. Film focus. What I've noticed is that he's very explosive whenever it comes off the line. He's very physical, can produce a lot of pressures, and he has really good uh, ball to eye coordination. Uh, and he's just a dog. Like I've seen him throw a bunch of offensive linemen to the side. It's crazy. Um, some good team fits I think he could go to is the Colts, Commanders, and Bengals. The Bengals, with them losing, they did lose Henderson, right?
Hendrickson.
Yeah, Hendrickson. Yeah. The Commanders could also use a nice little young piece on that defensive line, and the Colts adding more to their young defense as well. Um, injury concerns. He did tore his ACL in his right knee back in 24, but there's no real like update recently. His floor is that he could be a nice backup linebacker. His ceiling is that he's a nice off-ball linebacker. Could be moved around because of his versatility. And I think he could start really if he goes to the right team. Um, so my decision on drafting or passing on him, I would definitely draft him. I like him for his strength and like his explosiveness. His explosiveness. Oh my gosh, coming off the line. And like his just all his all around like dog mentality. Like he's able to like throw offensive linemen. He's able to move around, shift around from linebacker to edge, and definitely needs a little bit of work on the run game. But we'll get there. Um, overhyped or underhyped? I definitely say he is underhyped due to his size, but his speed and versatility definitely makes up for it. So yeah.
Well, for my next guy, I have R. Mason Thomas, defensive end out of Oklahoma. He stands at 6 foot 2 inches, weighing in at 241 pounds. I sound like a goddamn boxer, but he has 31 and 5/8 inch arms. That looks right to me, and 8 and 7/8 inch hands. I hate these numbers. He participated in the combine in his pro day. He ran a 4.6. No, nobody wants to finish it for me. He ran a 4.67 at the combine, and then he did the 10-yard shuttle. He ran a 1.63. It would have been fine. Funny if he did 1.67. But at his pro day, he did the broad jump, 10 feet 0 inches, a 34-inch vertical jump, and he did the three cone drill, which 7 seconds, 7.15 seconds. I have his draft range probably mid second round, mid third round, between those rounds. Um, I have his NFL comp from the film that I watched. I really like the way he gets off. It reminded me of Nick Bonito. Uh, the NFL on his draft profile gave him D Ford. Honestly, forgot who D Ford was, but um, that's neither here nor there. Some of the strengths I put down, he does have great bend and a bit ability to dip under taller tackles. He really has a nice, quick first step and able to chase and capture running backs with pursuit speed, with really good pursuit speed. He is a high octane rusher with explosive takeoff up the field. Some of his weaknesses due to his lack of length. He does get hung up on base blocks. He does have trouble. I I asked DJ what this meant. I don't know what a hand stack is. but that's what NFL put. I ain't never heard of that. He struggles with that and holding his ground. His hand fighting with any offensive lineman could be polished, and he did miss a couple games in his collegiate career. Some of the teams I gave him were the Cowboys, Eagles, Patriots, Saints, and Ravens. Cowboys honestly do need some really better edges. I know sometimes out of the gate, when it comes to the draft, you won't be able to find that guy on day one, but uh, through development and things of that nature, that can happen. Same thing with the Eagles; they always figure out a way to get a guy that's really good, and they develop them correctly. So the Eagles would be a nice spot for him as they lost Jalen Phillips in the offseason. Another team, the Patriots, um, they really couldn't get after Sam Darnold or really anybody in the playoffs. Uh, if it wasn't a high talented quarterback, the Saints, another team, I know they'll probably pick either um, Ruben Bain, and if David Bailey falls, that'd be a nice selection there. I don't know why these guys are laughing, but the camera's on me. Um, and the Ravens, another team that I know they got Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati, but just adding more depth to that defensive line would be nice. His injury concerns I did mention earlier. He missed a couple games in 2022, 2023, and 2025. He stayed all 4 years at Oklahoma, which was nice. So um, for his ceiling, I put with the right development, he could be uh, defensive end number one. Um, Probably to the Cowboys or the Eagles would be a nice spot there. And then for his floor, I put rotational and depth piece. I'd probably draft him if he's available. You know, just having him develop under some vets, proven vets, would be nice for him to go through that process. And he did get some hype due to his stock rising after his pro day. So uh, yeah, R. Mason Thomas, an interesting name. Um, I should have wrote something because there was actually he actually talked about that in an interview, but that'll probably be for another day.
Okay, right. My final guy is safety AJ Halsey from LSU. He is 6 foot 215. At his pro day, he ran a 4.5240, so a little bit on the slower side for safeties. He ran a 1.62 10-yard split. His draft range, I see him going from mid second to around mid third, maybe early third. His NFL comp that I see why everyone was saying, Jabril Peppers. Uh, he's his frame really as his strength. He plays like a pro. I'm pretty sure he's a little bit of an older prospect. Maybe I think he's 22, maybe 23 at this point. He has very good instincts as well. Even though he is more of the free safety, the safety that's gonna come down and lay a hit, the safety or the strong safety, I mean, the safety that's gonna play closer to the line. He has nice route recognition and he hits like a bag of concrete. His weaknesses, his speed, recovery speed, his arms are short, his change of direction. So a lot of mobility stuff, which is probably why he's gonna be better suited as a strong safety in the league. Um, his best team fits, I have the Bengals. Obviously they need a safety bad. They just really need anyone. Obviously they got what was his name from the Chiefs? Brian Cook from the Chiefs in the offseason, but you can always use another one. Plus, AJ Halsey's not going in the first. The Titans, he fits Robert Sala's type of safety, the hard hitting type. Plus, I think they already have some cover safeties there like Amani Hooker. The 49ers as well. It's probably my favorite fit for him. He can play near the line there because all of their DBs have that versatility. The Giants also value versatility there. And the Rams, we asked Ann about this. They don't really have like a hard hitter at safety as well. So he could just be that type of guy. He did have a lingering shoulder issue, no surgery needed, but that is one concern, and said teams are gonna look into that. His floor, I have him. If anything, he's just gonna be a nice special teams ace that will go down and lay a hit, and just like an occasional run stopping safety, just come in on obvious rundowns. And his ceiling, a versatile, hard hitting free safety or strong safety. He could play both just because of his instincts. Um, and I draft him, but you got to know what you're getting when you draft him. and he's underhyped mainly because of his speed. Like the teams, or not even teams, people are just under and are just looking over him just because he's slower as a safety, which kind of does should scare a little bit. But AJ Halsey should be a decent player in the league.
All right. Now it's back to me. For my next guy, I have a guy coming from Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt. Tight end. His name is Eli Stowers, Stowers. His measurement coming in big at a 4 6'4" Sorry. Uh, with a weight of 239 pounds. His combine stats, he had a record-breaking vertical jump at a 4.45. What? Four, four. Oh my, 45.5 inches. Sorry, with a 11'3" broad jump and ran a 4.51 40. His draft range, I have him going mid to low on the second round, uh, even the third round maybe. His NFL comp that the NFL website has shown is Evan Ingram. I deleted the guys. I deleted the other guy's first name. Getsky? Giski? I forgot his name. But yeah, no, DJ and Bobby know what I'm talking about. You said his name before, bro. I told you his name. All right, I guess we'll just
Wait,
leave that one
wait.
up to
What
the.
are you mentioning? You're on the tight end, right?
Yeah, Giski. Geski?
Mike
Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki,
Gesicki.
yes. Yes. I forgot to tell you, I deleted his first name by accident. But yes, he is compared to that guy and Evan Ingram because of their size and power whenever it comes to blocking physicality. He is labeled as a big slot wide receiver. I mean, receiver, not wide receiver. Um, he's also compared a little bit to DK Metcalf because of his high vertical jump. Um, his uh, strengths and weaknesses. He's a big, powerful receiver that is quick and has good yards after catch ability. As I've seen in his film. And his weaknesses is that he is limited in line blocking uh, because of his frame. He's low-key little slim, thin for a traditional tight end. Um, but yeah, going to my notes for his film focus, he is he has a really good yard after catch ability, and is physical and is able to use his long arms for higher throws and you know his high vert too. He's also really fast for his size. The way he runs, I wouldn't say it's similar to T Max, but like it's like a little slower. He takes like long struts because he's tall. But I don't think he's as quick as T Mac whenever it comes to those long struts. Um, some teams I think he can go to is the Ravens, 49ers, and Chiefs. The Chiefs I said before because, you know, um, Kelsey is getting old. I think this is probably gonna be his last few years in the NFL. The Niners, Kittle being injury prone, and the Ravens having old Mark Andrews. So basically, all those guys are either injured or old, and I feel like he'll be a nice little fit with those QBs on on their offenses. And injury concerns, he had a minor dis disclosed injury. Didn't really give too much about it. His floor could definitely be a nice rotational tight end going from blocking to catching and all that. Um, and his ceiling, with his versatility, he'd be a nice tight end one, starting over probably those three that I just named: Mark Andrews, Kittle, and Kelsey. Sorry. Um, Now the question is, do I draft or pass on him? I would draft him. I feel like he's a better uh tight end over what's his name? Over Delp. Let me see. Oh my. Oops, over scroll. But yes, Delp over Delp because even though he is One of his like negatives is that he can't really block. At least he can block. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's able to jump up there. He has a high vert, strong hands and everything. So I would definitely draft him over Delp. But overhyped or underhyped? I feel like he is perfectly hyped with his size and skill set. Yeah.
Well, for my last guy, I'm gonna have to rush because I don't know when I'm gonna be gone because my computer's at 1%, so it's holding on by a thread right now. But I have Jake Golday, linebacker out of Cincinnati. He stands at 6 foot 4.5 inches, 239 pounds, with 31.7 7/8 inch arms and one 9.5 inch hands. He participated in the combine and the pro. I think no, just the combine. uh, he ran a 4.62 40. He did the 10-yard shuttle, 1.6 seconds, I guess. 39-inch vert, a 10-foot 5-inch broad jump, 7 second basically, 3 cone drill, and a 20-yard 4.34 seconds. I forget what the 20-yard is, but his draft range, I gave him late second, early third round. The comps that were given to him on NFL.com was Malik Harrison, and I gave him Devin Lloyd. As DJ said yesterday when we were um, when I was talking about him, he said Kevin Lloyd because I don't know why, but some of the strengths I have right here um, from the film I also watched, he is a very explosive athlete with really impressive size, effective use of his hands to play off blockers and make sudden tackles. Not manipulated out of his zone by the quarterback's eyes. He follows. He could see where the quarterback is gonna throw, and he's just not gonna be completely thrown off. These guys are messing around here. I love when they do that. And he tags blocks with and constricts run flows with heavy hands. I think he played defensive line when he was at Central Arkansas before transferring to Cincinnati, so he kind of had to transition from that. So some of the weaknesses I put down, he needs to be quicker going downhill to blow up the blocking. He could struggle covering running backs if asked to do so, and he has average quickness to diagnose and read the play design, and linear pass rusher with below average elusiveness. Some of the team fits I gave him were the Bengals, Jags, Bears, and Colts. Chapstick. Bees. The Bengals, they just need any type of defensive player. The Jags, they did lose Devin Lloyd. That's where the Kevin Lloyd nickname comes from. So that's funny. The Bears also did. I think they did lose.
All right, chat. So Bobby is gone. He's gonna join back from his
Oops.
phone, but I'll just turn on the
Ew.
DJ and Ant cam.
I told you gonna have dark. Now in the
I
dark.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. So basically, like I was saying, Bears and the Colts were the team fits. I was looking at their depth charts, right? I was just like, as my light falls, um, I was just looking at each team's depth charts, and I'm like, they just don't have any good linebacking core. So this is really a positional need for some of those teams. And then I have to look at my notes on my phone now because that's where I'm at. Uh, give me a second. Give me a second. Um, I'm back with the light now, but let me put myself sideways so it won't mess up the vid. Um, let's see. Let's see. Give me a second. Yeah. Uh, and then his injury concerns. Am I still? Am I good? Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. Whatever. Some of the injury concerns he had. Yeah, the undisclosed head injury in 2025, which is weird. That just popped up, and then he had a hernia and quad injury in 2024, 2025. The ceiling that I gave him was possibly being a linebacker one. Um, and then the floor I gave him was depth. And then I drafted him as a best player available. I'm kind of following the same flow as the other players. and then I gave him underhype. I really haven't heard of this guy. I feel like I watched a couple games of Cincinnati. So yeah, I haven't heard much of him. So those were my 5 guys.
And somehow went back to Kenyon Sadiq and just realized that. Oh wow. All right. There's double of all of us. Hold on. Well, oh, because
What?
you left and
Right?
joined, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
hear, right?
you know,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You gotta love when you don't charge your stuff and then it dies mid-episode. Charge your stuff, kids.
And don't walk in rocks.
Yeah, because that'll twist your Achilles and ankles and everything else that involves
Can
your
I
dick.
assume? Can I assume this is what Ant did?
No
Yeah,
way,
because
actually.
Oh,
DJ didn't
right.
give us a warning, actually.
Yeah, I didn't give a warning before. I guess I got to give
Yeah.
warnings. Don't walk.
Like DJ will let you die.
Or announce if, there's a step in the staircase,
Yeah, he'll just
because
let
all
you.
the tiles want to look the same, so I almost
Yeah,
lost my ankle, bro.
Yeah, and almost lost the ankle. But y'all will hear about that in the Bobcast Yaps episode in about 3 weeks.
2 weeks, all 3 weeks. We're just me and Bobby. No DJ, because DJ has, big boy things to attend to.
But yeah, don't forget, guys, the draft stream is. Oh shit, wrong thing. The
In two
draft
weeks.
stream is in 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks.
We're gonna be reacting to the first day 1 and day 2. Day 3 we'll just be chilling. Y'all just gonna have to keep up with. We'll be in Discord, but we'll just be chilling that day. It's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna have Ant here this time. It's not his brother's birthday.
Unless the Wi-Fi goes out.
I think
That's
his
the
Wi-Fi
only
should be
thing
good in 2 weeks.
that will disrupt this.
He's gonna
It should
schedule his
be.
Wi-Fi to go out in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
Probably.
Scheduled to go out at 5 p.m.
Mm-mm.
or
I
4,
got
because
you,
that's
bro.
when we're gonna start streaming. But yeah, April 23rd.
Third.
April 23rd, 4 p.m. We'll be right here. I won't be wearing this jersey, but I'll be wearing a jersey.
I'll also
Probably
be wearing my
tomorrow,
jersey.
I'll probably just wear my hat again like I did last year. I have less hair. So.
Ant's gonna wear
Flowered
Cooper
up
Cup.
Cooper Cup jersey. Because Ray wanted to smack flour.
It did
All
get
purpose, by
flour.
the way. All
It did get
purpose, by the
floured
way.
up.
Not
Oh
not
my,
just not just regular flour.
Listen, Bobby, you wanna know how it happened? He was horse
Let
playing
me
in
see.
Walmart. He was horse
Of
playing in
course,
Walmart.
he
There
was
was no horse
playing.
whenever we were playing.
That's how my watch broke.
It's always the horse playing that does
That's how my
this.
necklace broke. Because Mr. Bottle thing over there. I swear that 8 looks
Where?
like the top of a can. The 8 on your jersey.
Daniel Jones.
It's so ugly.
Hey, it was $7.99. But yeah, don't forget about the giraffe stream. Double uploads for the next 2 weeks. We'll catch y'all next week.
Kill me already, bro. Loses.
I don't.